Right, mythic. Just, I think it's just more or less luck than anything else at this point.
Damn!
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I promised you one thing. I promised you that I would give you guys my my opinion on the Spitfire and kind of give you guys a guide on how to best use it. It's a gun that I'm really starting to fall in love with. I'm starting to kind of get the handle of her and know how she functions, knows how she shoots, and know what ranges I can actually acquire targets on, and feel really confident in actually taking people out. So I want to give you guys my do's, my don'ts, go over kind of the stats of everything of the guns, let you guys know what attachments I use, what sight I use, and hopefully you guys are just as successful as I am. So real quick, let's go over the stats. So the Spitfire is actually one of the first guns you have available to you. As soon as you regen, as soon as you start the game up, you're going to have this gun available to you, and you don't actually have to purchase anything. It's always there, ready to go. The thing about the Spitfire is that it has a steady firing rate. It's very nice. It's very controllable in short bursts, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. But it's not fast like the Devotion. It's a very, like it says, a steady fire rate with a punch, and it definitely has a punch. You're going to be able to take out targets, but with between 2 to 3 rounds, depending on the distance where you are from the target. Like it says, 50 damage. Accuracy is awesome and bursts, and I'll kind of get into that again when you're engaging targets from far away. Again, range is really nice, and also too, the ammo capacity is 80 rounds in a magazine, and it is crazy. You're going to be shooting for days with this gun, and it actually kind of helps out too when you're trying to engage people from pretty far away. And again, I will get into that. When it comes into attachments, I love using Speed Loader. Having that availability of shooting this thing constantly and then being able to reload it very quickly helps me out a lot. Extra ammo, you're going to bump it up from 80 to 96 bullets in your magazine. It's crazy. I don't recommend it, but if you want to have extra ammo, there you go. Gun Runner. Gun Runner is another perk that I would recommend. I'll kind of get into that a little bit later, where you're able to run and shoot at the same time. Gun Ready, I don't really recommend that. I don't really see too many people actually being able to get the drop on me because they have Gun Ready, but I just don't recommend it. And Quick Swap, again, Quick Swap, you kind of get to your secondary pretty quickly, so I don't recommend that either. Now, when it comes to sights that I recommend, I definitely recommend something that has an extra zoom, and that's the HCOG Ranger. That thing is going to be able to help you out, engage targets from pretty far away, and I love it, and I'll kind of get into it a little bit later. The AOG, it's a sight that kind of blocks your visibility of everything that else is around you. Same thing with a threat scope. I don't recommend those things. Threat scope, because it also blocks your view and it takes away an attachment. Don't like it at all. So I would either go with the iron sights or the Ranger, because that's going to help you guys engage targets from either pretty far away or with the iron sights right next to you. So let me get into the do's and don'ts and some of the benefits and what will help you when it comes to actually engaging targets, and what perks and what pilot tactical you should use. When it comes to pilot abilities, you guys know I love playing as a cloaked character. It helps me out tremendously, being able to kind of running around and kind of being invisible and being able to kind of take the enemy by surprise. It helps me out a lot when it comes to attrition and bounty hunt, because then I'm not having to worry about grunts and specters. So again, as one of my things I would definitely recommend, I recommend a lot of cloak. You know, use it to your advantage. I mean, especially with this gun, you're being able to kind of surprise the enemy with short bursts from the Spitfire that work out a lot, really good. I don't know. That's me. I feel like it works out very well for me. But also too, you're always gonna have those kind of G2 people camping in the background, stuff like that. And I will show an example of the Spitfire being able to take people out from that far away, but being invisible, using that cloak ability, and those people not being able to see you helps out a lot when trying to engage targets with the Spitfire from pretty far away. So that's why I recommend cloak. The second one I would recommend and also too, you can use pulse and hollow pilot and stuff like that. Those I don't have a problem. I'm just kind of really letting you guys know what classes I would recommend using this. The next one is STEM. STEM is recommended just because if you run STEM and Gun Runner, kind of like the Rambo challenge that I did for Dude, you're going to be able to engage targets without even aiming down sight. You're pretty much going to be able to try to use this as an R97, shooting from the hip, getting really close and personal with people, and being able to actually just hold down the trigger as you run past people and getting engaged with some of these some of the targets you have. So it's one thing that's kind of left as a kind of an emergency tactic. I love doing, aiming down sights and being able to engage targets. But as an emergency thing, if some people are around you and they're trying to get you as their kill, it's awesome to be able to just kind of shoot from the hip, shoot everywhere, spray everywhere, and being able to kill people. But yeah, when it comes to boosts, I love using the boost, either amped weapons or map hack. Amped weapons, again, you're going to decrease how many rounds you're going to be able to shoot into people. I mean, it's going to cut it down for between 2 and 3 shots, just depending on the distance. And also, too, you're going to turn your dude that you're shooting into red mush. I mean, the dude's going to explode, and it's a pretty cool visual to actually see when you're playing this game. Also, too, map hack. Again, Spitfire is great for kind of closing down areas of the to the enemy. It's awesome to kind of just lock down areas, and also too, if you know where people are at, it's awesome to use the map hack because that gives you an advantage of knowing where the enemy's going to be coming from, and you know exactly when to shoot and when not to shoot when enemies are around. Now, when it comes to actually using the sights, I mean, I know a lot of people, when they shoot the Spitfire, they don't actually hold down the trigger very long, and that's the one thing that I always advocate to people. If you're actually going to use the Spitfire, please, for the love of God, do not hold the trigger down for longer than 3 to 4 seconds, because once you start doing that, you're going to start losing a lot of accuracy. This thing's going to start jumping everywhere. It's not like the Titanfall 1 version where you would hold down the trigger and actually get more accurate over time. This thing will spray all over the place when you're aiming down sight, and it definitely sucks trying to hit people. But I also want to say, too, it's not impossible to hit targets from very far away. As you're seeing right here, I'm aiming down sights, I'm engaging people from pretty far away, and it's just one thing that I just want to recommend to people, that it's not undoable. You can do this. You can use this gun to counter those people that are camping on the far side of the map using a G2, and again, it doesn't take a whole lot of shots for the Spitfire to actually get people from pretty far range. If you get him with that 3-round burst, within the 2 or 3 seconds that you're holding down the trigger, it's going to help you out a lot, and you're going to be able to take down the target, and you might be able to take out multiple targets if you can actually burst fire, stop, engage another target, stop, engage another target, and all doing bursts. You're going to be able to lock down areas and take people, take a lot of advantage of the capacity that the Spitfire has. Lastly, I just want to go back over the attachments. So for your attachments, I definitely recommend the fast reloader. Definitely having that ability to be able to reload quickly. I mean, 80 rounds does go by pretty quickly after holding down the trigger for quite a while, but it's nice to get a refill. I mean, hell, 80 turns into 160 and then 240 and stuff like that. So being able to reload quickly and being able to get back in the fight just as fast is an amazing perk that goes onto the weapon, and I love it so much. Another one is Tactical. Tactical helps me out tremendously when I'm wanting to use my invisibility or my stim again. I mean, that stuff recharges pretty quickly, and you're able to use your pilot ability again and again and again. Stim helps you, again, being able to close in on the enemy, and being able to kind of use that hip fire that the Spitfire has, and then also, too, Cloak. Cloak helps not only you being able to traverse the map, get a hidden little spot on the enemy, and being able to take them by surprise with the amount of firepower you have with the Spitfire, but also, too, you can help out your team by taking Titan batteries, sneaking around, executing people, and just kind of helping yourself with that if you're missing executions. But yeah, definitely having fast reloader and Tactical is one thing I recommend to have on your weapon. Now, another thing is, I know a lot of people have been thinking I use extra ammo. I don't see the purpose of having extra ammo, to tell you the truth. I think 96 rounds is pretty crazy. I think that's literally the biggest magazine that's actually in the game right now, is 96 rounds, and I just think that is just way too much. I don't find myself in that circumstance where I'm holding down the trigger for that long, but I guess if you want, close to 100 rounds in your magazine for your Spitfire, you have the opportunity. But also, too, again, I want to say that if you guys are using stim, definitely I would recommend using Gunrunner. Gunrunner is going to allow you to shoot from the hip and help you out tremendously in being able to engage targets on the run. And it's definitely a fun thing to do if you ever decide to do the Rambo challenge that Jared2 did a couple of weeks ago. Well, guys, I really just wanted to give you guys kind of a down and dirty guide of the Spitfire. I mean, it's a gun that I'm really enjoying playing with. You don't see a whole lot of people use a Spitfire, except for recently. I've been seeing a lot of Cloak players and a lot of Spitfires being shot at me. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it's awesome, too, to actually see that maybe, you know, people that are watching either the Twitch stream or watching me on YouTube, that it's starting to grow. I mean, a lot of people have been using, you know, the alternator and the R97 from other Twitch and YouTube content creators. So it's cool to have that kind of influence and stuff like that. And I really do hope that people have just as much fun, just as successfulness as I have with the Spitfire. And that's just one thing that I want to kind of just give you guys. I want you to have a lot of fun with this gun. I want you to have as much fun as I do. And just all the success that I have with this gun, and having the huge, you know, KD rates that I have in some games is just amazing. And I look forward to actually seeing some clips, some montages, or I mean, hell, if you get a really good game of, you know, 30+ kills, I definitely would love to see it. You gotta represent the mistress, okay? She's not very pretty. She's not used a whole lot, but she definitely she'll be there for you if you're in a pickle. So. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this guide. If you did, please drop me a like. And let me know if there's any other gun that you would love to see a guide on that you haven't seen yet. I know a lot of people have done, you know, alternator, car, R97, but if there's anything out there that you would love for me to give you guys kind of a down and dirty guide on, and just kind of a quick guide on how to use it, I would love to. So let me know down in the comments below what gun you would like me to do next. But guys, again, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a great start to the week, and I hope you have a great day today. And I will see you guys next time.